Welcome back to all our friends, family, and yes, even our foes. To the Foxx Den Sports Podcast, where Todd and his sports-passionate kids are ready to bring you the latest updates and insights on all things sports. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Foxx Den Sports Podcast. I am the Podfather, Todd Foxx, along with the dog, Kellen, and we got G-Mac, Gannon here as well. Mary Gary is not with us, and then Bench should be jumping on hopefully here pretty soon, I believe, here pretty quick. But we're going to go over Game 5, the Thunder 120-109 victory over the Indiana Pacers. And what I'm going to set the stage real quick. Game 5 basically shifted the balance in Oklahoma City's favor. They now lead 3-2. And what's at stake? What was at stake is it was pivotal. It was Game 5. It was 2-2 in the finals. Game 5 is often a turning point with the teams that leading 3-2 going on to win 82% of the time. So it's not guaranteed, but it's 82%. And I know I feel better being up 3-2 than being down 2-3 and having to go to their place. So we seized control in front of a packed house at the Paycom Center. So, gentlemen, tell me what your thoughts are. Just tell me, what do you think happened?
Jalen Williams is the best number 2 in the NBA. He is something special, electric. It's just hard to put into words. That was an all-time performance right there. I literally saw an article today talking about how a lot of people are expecting like a Scottie Pippen type career out of him, because if everything stays the way it is, he won't be number 1. But he's a very good number 2.
Well, I don't even think he could have a
better.
Yeah.
I would say better.
Maybe better player. I don't know about accolades, but I think so. Yeah.
I know what you mean, but exactly, I think he could be a better player for sure. Just he is insane, and he's taking a beating. Last game, put his body on the line, hit the ground multiple times. Today, hit the ground. I don't know what happened when he got hit in the head. I never could see what exactly happened, but went and sat.
Yeah, they never showed it.
And I knew he'd come back. I was like, hopefully this doesn't affect his game, and he came back better than before. He is a special player, and he's only improved throughout this playoffs.
Sure. People were trying to crucify him early on, but go ahead, Gannon.
I was just about to say that I looked after
Game 6.
Might have even been after Game 1 this series. Even though we lost, I remember I looked on Twitter for after that game that he had 6 points against Denver, and I searched like a tweet filter for like tweets after that game, and people were like, Thunder fans were like ripping him to shreds, saying like after this series, like he shouldn't play another game in a Thunder jersey. And I'm just like, at the time I was so frustrated. But you gotta just live with it. And honestly, my mentality then was like, he either is the guy that can take us over the hump as the number 2, or he isn't. And I was like, I still had confidence in him. I said that for a while, but I think it's clear that we won, or we learned from Game 1, because he even said that at the first little interview after the game on the court. He was like, it was the exact same game as Game 1, but you could tell they learned from it just by how they handled it on both ends of the floor. That's kind of like the staple takeaway that I had, like overarching. But yeah, it was an unbelievable performance. What were you going to say, Kellen?
I was just going to say, you'd think everybody learned, because they all had apologies for him after Game 7 against the Nuggets. It's like, I was a little frustrated in Game 1, but I said the dude's 24 years old.
Sure.
Cut him black. He's 24 years old in the finals. So, but he just continued to grow. 17, 19, I think 24, 27, or 26, 27, or something like that, and then 40. Like, he's grown points-wise each game. He puts everything on the line. Like, he's special.
Yeah, people were trying to rip on him, and Digno, thing about it is he believes in him, and whether or not heard somebody say something a little while ago. He may have a bad performance shooting wise, but he still can play defense, and he's very good. Go ahead.
I was say one of the best wing defenders in the league.
So he may not be helping sometimes, it appears, on the offensive side, but he's definitely helping on the defensive side. And then a lot of those kind of players like him can't get themselves out of jam, getting a little bit of confidence, getting some, I don't know, whatever it's layups or what. I think he got some good confidence early because I know Hartenstein got him a couple of quick baskets really early.
He just kept cutting.
Yeah, cutting in the middle. And Hartenstein got him on some passes. And I think he had at least one, if not two, pretty quick dunks. And I think that may have helped a little bit with the confidence. And then when you're putting all that, I say Indiana putting a lot of focus on Shai, then you've got opportunity for somebody to step up. And that's what we've said for a long time is just need one of these other guys to step up and be consistent with. And he's been consistent quite a bit the last several games. And he showed it tonight, man. He got, let me look through here. So he had a career playoff high, 40 points, shooting 14 of 24, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. I know he was, I believe, let me see here, 3 for 5 on 3-point shot.
5 from 3.
Yeah, so he hit three of those, which was fantastic. And he was 9 for 12 from the line. I know last game I think he was either 11-11 or 12-12, but I mean he did miss a few free throws tonight. But I mean he was he was plus 14 there. But I mean he played out.
And only
go ahead.
Only one turnover. And we kind of briefly talked about this, but this is exactly why, or there's been a number of games in the regular season, and they're a little bit, or they're not meaningless, but much more meaningless than this, obviously. But there's been so many games where it's like, oh man, Shai had 34, like he could have easily had 42 plus, and probably have won it in the fourth quarter because he was getting his way. And a lot of people kept thinking it was just him having a lack of like effort or closing ability. But it's for this moment exactly right here because he trusted his teammates for what's now 3 seasons, right? And even seasons before that when we had guys who aren't even in the league anymore, he still just, he wouldn't hog it. He would share it like a team basketball player. And that trust that he put in him for what's now 3 years is why he can have just such an unreal performance because you know what would have happened if he didn't for all these years is he would get all the focus, which is like what you see in teams against like what Harden had for his whole career, and same with Luka already in his career. Like when they get all the focus, nobody else can step up because nobody's used to it.
Correct.
But it's like those little kind of mundane moments throughout the regular season that he's allowed him to step up.
Well, you talk about Shai's performance. I know he had 31 points, 10 assists. And this marks, I guess it says here, the 10th time in this season that the duo combined for 70-plus points.
That's awesome.
You guys were saying don't take away, before the podcast, what were you saying about him? Don't take away from Shai's great game that he had either.
Well, I mean, Williams, obviously, like he's the cover player. Like if we still did newspapers, like he's on the cover for sure. But this was the first ever 30-point, 10 assists, 4-block game in finals history. And I think he had a historical, like, all-time level performance. And it's just funny because that's not even the craziest thing that happened tonight, it feels like. What were you going to say, Kel?
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, we were just saying don't let it distract you. Like, obviously, like you said, incredible points, but Shai put an all-time performance just all around. Did his average 31 points. The 10 assists were key this game, but those steals and then those blocks were just
unreal.
Every time you think he's not going to, like, you're like, oh, 1 block, 2 block, 3, and then 4, and he almost had a 5th. I think he ended up getting the shooting foul, but it was like I don't know, his defense is severely underrated.
And in that fourth quarter alone, he had 9 points, 4 assists, 2 steals, and a block, 1 turnover. And I think both of those steals, I don't know if they were back-to-back, but they were in a short little timestamp, and it totally shifted the game. It's like right when we needed a big play from our best players is right when we got them. And it was like you couldn't really draw it up any better than that.
Yeah.
Like 6 combined steal blocks from him is better than anything you could ask for.
Oh, yeah.
And also like his processing of the game, I think that was the best processing game I've ever seen him play in my life, because he's a score first player, and usually when he attracts that second defender, maybe all the defensive focus, there's a the smallest split second hesitation on the pass, like even she has to think about it, and that throws it off a little bit. But today it looked like he was manipulating the whole defense to where the second he drove, he knew once he took that step on his left foot, this defender was taking a step on his left foot to get closer.
Yeah.
And that kick out was open. So like the 10 assists looks cool, but it was also, he just had a phenomenal fluid passing game. And I was very excited.
Yeah.
Well, real quickly, I want to kind of go over some of the other players, role players, to a sense. And we'll talk about some of those guys in a minute. But Chet Holmgren, 9 points. He had 11 rebounds. I know he was
Huge.
1 for 3 from 3-point shot range. Isaiah Hartenstein, 4 points. He had a total of 8 rebounds. And then you're looking through here, Lou Dort had 9 points. He was all of his points came off of 3-pointers, 3 for 6. Caruso only had 2 points, but he was in there. I mean, he's just the
4 steals with that unreal diving
hustle
steal.
dude, man, hustle.
Yeah.
Biggins, 4 3-pointers, had 14 points. Casey Wallace, 3 3-pointers. So we were 14 for 32 for 43%, almost 44% on 3-point range. And I'll tell you about Chet real quick. Like, Chet had 11 rebounds, and I think he
3 blocks.
Yeah, 3 blocks, and he helped, change the trajectory or whatever you want to say of some of those shots from the other team. You know what I mean? So he did so well. He did so great in the inside.
3 blocks.
Yeah.
But like probably I would say 12 plus shots affected. And even they made a couple. Toppin had this one that like it looked like a half inch of space, and he still made it. It's like phenomenal shots, but he affected more than those three blocks.
Well, we got Bench in here. Bench in here. Go ahead, Kellen. What were you gonna say real quick?
When Chet was the primary defender, he held them to 3 for 12 today.
Well, that's funny. Yeah. Also, quick side note, we kind of made some predictions right before the game, but you can see on my Twitter from yesterday, I said the funniest part about Oklahoma City going 3 for 16 from 3 last night, which by the way is unreal. I said the funniest part about that is that we'll make 15 or so tomorrow, and it will be beyond us. And we made 14.
So we didn't hit 15.
Well, but
or so.
You're wrong.
Or so.
It's all good. Bench, what'd you think? Ball game. What are your thoughts?
Man, it was just listening to some of the post game what J-Dub said. I thought he said we learned a lot from game 1 to help us win game 5. And he said exactly what I told the people I was watching with. I was like, man, I said this just feels like game 1. And but he just said we learned, and he said we learned how to fight through that. We learned how to fight through their comeback and not panic and not. He said, and he didn't even realize they'd even got within 2 points.
I saw that.
And so I thought that was huge because he said we kind of set back and just tried to start running time with 7 or 8 minutes, and he goes, tonight we just attacked, and it was about the 7-minute mark when I think Dort hit that 3 that was ginormous. J-Dub had a couple of buckets, driving in. Shai hit a couple, and just but the biggest thing was the defense. Just Wallace getting that. I mean, I don't know if it goes down as a steal, but it wasn't much of a steal. They just screwed up. But we had good defense. And then, Shai had the steal. Caruso had a steal. I mean, and then we converted those. So that was the moment of the game. So exciting. It was just unbelievable that we're 1 win away.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You said a 7-minute mark, and yeah, you're right on the money because they got it to 5, and then after that, it was never 5 again.
I think
5-point game.
They cut
7
it
minutes
to 2
left.
with around 8 minutes left, something like that.
Yeah.
So
So
go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, Dad, you said I think yesterday you were telling me because I didn't see it, but Williams said something along the lines after game 4, like you're never as high as you think you are, but you're also never as low. So like you just stay steady. And after that third quarter, they were like, "Oh, they cut the lead to 8. Like, how do you respond?" He was like, "First, don't panic." And he was like, chill as anybody. So it helps me even when watching because I'm like, don't panic. Like,
Are you talking
even these
about when he
guys
was
know.
talking to Scott Van Pelt just a little bit ago? Is that what you're talking about?
I think
He
I
says
think
the same thing every interview.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like, he sounds the exact same. Scott was saying that to him.
So mature.
And then he was like, "You're just, are you happy?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm good." But I mean, we got,
No,
we
but he
still got.
said,
Go ahead.
well, he was like, I'll probably, if we win this, I'll look back and be happy and it'll be cool. But he said it means nothing if we don't win one of the next 2. He said, so I'm not going to get too excited yet.
I love it.
And
You do not see an entire team or either an entire team or a team this young be this mature and just collected. And there's never been a team that are both. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's not easy, and I think a lot of that's.
I wanted
coaching.
to add in just how huge Wiggins and Wallace were. I mean, 6 threes between the two of them. Just my gosh, they were
And
huge.
Wallace hadn't hit a 3 all series, and he started drilling them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't
during the
realize he
regular
hadn't hit
season,
one
he's
at
pretty
all.
good on those what do you call it, corner
I mean,
shots. But
you want him to shoot it, yeah.
Hadn't been
Yeah,
hitting
that
them at
was
all.
Dort. Just every time he shoots, I still did that, and then I'm like, God, that freaking goes in.
To the rafters.
We've got to have a good shooting night again on Game 6. But I know, just looking through here, Siakam had 28 points for Indiana. That T.J. McConnell had 18 off the bench. I mean, he helped narrow it down in that third quarter, and then early in the fourth, I believe. But here's my question. Here's what I'm afraid, and I said this before Doris said it on the game. But how much is Tyrese Haliburton's injury? ESPN's going to talk about that for
3 days.
until the next game. They're just going to be talking about Tyrese Haliburton. I mean, and obviously he was hurt. Okay, and is it a calf? Is that what I heard? Because
Calf and his ankle both.
I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
those aren't easy to come back from, and I mean, he'll still play, but I don't know how. I think personally they should have pulled him earlier.
Killing it, some say, I think, for me.
I mean, we'll probably all be in agreement. He wasn't playing very good before he aggravated it today. They got it within 2 without him. His injury did not lose this game.
No.
The team,
that's what people
as good as a player as he is, he's not like Shai level. Like his whole team is
Not even close.
I think Carlisle lost him the game. Well, I still think we win the game, but I think he guaranteed the loss. They should have kept McConnell in there and taken.
He was tearing us up.
Haliburton now. McConnell was doing
I
great.
agree.
He was very aggressive on defense, hitting some crazy shots that he shouldn't have been hitting. Haliburton was playing poorly before he went down with the injury. That's not what cost them the game. They got it within.
Well, he went down with the injury in the first quarter.
But I think he was like 0 for 4 or 0 for 5 before it
In the
happened.
first half, yeah.
So it's just like,
Yeah, no, he was. I was about to start just dogging on it, but then I don't even think it's him just playing like bad to the most extreme. I'm just gonna say this is the best defense of all time. Putting any player against this team, they're gonna have their struggles. So I think, and he's specifically not easy. I don't say easy, but there's less you have to do because he's a pass first, then score player. And his scoring has to be, I think I said this before the series, like it had to be aggressive to win. And tonight it wasn't aggressive. It also wasn't efficient. So, like I said, I was about to start just ripping on him, but honestly, it's not even his. It's just, I'm not even kidding. I think this is the best defense of all time.
Yeah, and I mean, first off, I mean, I could go in 1,000 different directions. I want to say this real quick, and then I'm going to move on to something else. But we gave them game 1. Now, granted, I get it. We took game 4 from them, so it's kind of a toss-up. But this thing could have been over tonight, but it's not. We still got to move on. But they had. This is unofficial numbers that I'm all looking at and everything. But they had 23 turnovers, and we had 11. And I saw Mark Rogers, a guy from Sports Animal, tweeted out that we had 32 points off of those 23 turnovers, and they only had 9 off of ours. So that's a big discrepancy there as well, for sure. So let me ask you this: how nervous were you at some point, like whenever it was starting to get a little bit tight there? Honestly, like, were you like, oh my goodness, or were you? You sent that text that said, we got another run or two in us, so you weren't.
I think it was actually right about 8 minutes.
Another run or two, and we ended up just having one long run.
Yeah, and I was definitely nervous because it had the exact feel of game one. They were making these shots that I'm just like, what? And we were just making these dumb turnovers, bad shots, and it had all the reason for me to just panic. And I'm not kidding when I say, like, the players and Mark's, like, handling of all this, like, just a cool, calm, and collected, helps me because I'm just like, that's kind of what helped me send that text, because I'm just like, listen, like, they just went on a good run. They totally had a good run. I can't pull it up right now, but
no, you're good.
It was a good run to cut it to 5 to 6, 7 range. But I was like, this team is not going to go 8, 9 minutes without a run themselves. And the whole game is a game of runs. 10-2 here, 14-4 there.
What was the longest?
And so I was just, the biggest run we had was 18-5 in the first quarter.
Were we up at 18 at one point?
Yeah, in the first half.
Yes. And then we had an 18-4 run in 3 minutes, starting at 8-minute fourth to fifth. And that was just like,
we went on a 10-0 run right there at the end of the fourth.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing I'd say about the run that they went on compared to game one is this one the run was way early in the fourth quarter and into the third, and they just ran out of steam. Because they had to pour everything in it, and then they're like, we caught up.
Still got 6 minutes.
And then we go get up 5, and they're just like, So, yeah, we still got 6 minutes. So I think that's where I didn't panic as much, but we weren't stopping them. And that little McConnell guy, man, he just infuriates me when he scores. I'm like,
that's exactly what I was.
What's crazy is I looked up his body statistics, and he's the exact same size as me, and I think I'm probably a normal American man size. And he looks like a friggin' 5'1" out there. And there's no way I could do what that guy does. And but just unbelievable, especially when he made that shot inside the lane over Hartenstein. I'm like,
yeah. Wow. Are you talking about the one where he ran and just jumped and then turned?
Yeah.
No hesitation, no stopping his movement. It was dirty.
Yeah.
And also, I was just kind of ticked because he was busting us up, but he was pretty class though.
Oh yeah.
Multiple times he was pretty class. So I was honestly like not even that frustrated. Because he wasn't.
I think he fouled.
His attitude wasn't weird at all.
High-fived each other or something because it was just like.
Yeah, because it was just a good foul. Yeah, and then there's one time he traveled, and every player in their roster always just like raising their hands, wide-eyeing the ref. He just put the ball right in the baseline and just ran back to defense, and I was like, I'm happy with that. Like I'll be more chill with that.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I was nervous and definitely pacing the floor. I didn't sit down at all during the game other than halftime. But
I didn't stand other than halftime.
I think, and I said Shai seems rested enough, and Caruso's been on the bench. He's going to come in fresh. So I felt confident that to close the game out, our guys were going to have the energy to do it, unlike game 1 and 3. So I was definitely nervous because it's just like it is. We've seen the Pacers do some incredible things this playoff run, but because of our time and clock management, I really felt like I felt confident that we were going to close it out.
They even gave Shai a rest right there, about 8-minute mark for about a minute,
and that's huge.
You said that, Kellen. You were like, even if it's just 45 seconds, like just give him a quick breather. And I was like, man, like this is the biggest game in franchise history. He's fine. But they did it, and it worked perfectly. So I was like, all right.
How much damage can be done in 45 seconds?
I mean, in Indiana had to do what they had to do, but when they tried to challenge that play, I mean, you have to do it. But, man, I think that just let us go, okay, one more rest.
Because that was long.
Yes.
One more drink of water. get ready for defense again. And I mean, they had to challenge it because it was close.
Oh, yeah,
but
they had to.
I think it helped us.
They
more
also
than
they also subbed out Siakam, I think, when it was a 2-point game. And even if he is so tired, I think that was a bad sub because that's right when we started the run because he was playing really well. So I think that was a weird sub. And then
he had a real good
that
game.
He
challenge
had
as
like
well.
9 points in the first like minute and a half of the fourth quarter.
2.5
And, like,
minutes, yeah, 9
last
points. It
game, he
was
had
like
0 points in the whole fourth. So it was like I was
Yep.
like, dang, all right, don't let him get too hot. But
It's so weird. Through 5 games, I feel like every game was 2 different teams playing.
yeah,
You know, it's just like the strategy, the top players, the players that played good that hadn't played, who played good defense, who played good offense. Every game it's been for the most part. But I mean, Shai's been the guy. J-Dub's played pretty good, but you know what I mean. J-Dub's hadn't had 40 points every game, and then I bet Chet's behind the back layup that he made in the first few
that was
minutes of the
filthy.
game.
in the first it was our second basket. Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, just stuff like that. And I mean, you know, then you have Matherin playing good in game 3, and then you know what I mean. Just every game there was just something different. So
Somebody different took over.
I think that's what made this series so fun
And
to watch.
I was just about to say that's a great series. Like if you have that where it's like you don't know what you're really getting, but you're going to get something good. That's a great series.
In 4, J-Dub started playing point guard.
Yeah,
He's our 3-man.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden he's bringing the ball up the floor. We started Wallace the first 3 games. Isaiah Joe didn't even play tonight.
Mm.
but
Which
it, like again,
you're not going to hear me complain.
Henderson
He had
with his
ice
bench
pack on
minutes
his
are
knee the whole
just-
game. I thought that was weird on the sidelines. He had an ice pack on his knee. So I don't know if he's hurt, but
I mean, players do that if they play. I don't know why if he didn't play. He might have just been getting him ready. That could be a little mind game to see like they could sub him on at any point. Or if we did, I don't know.
Well, I can tell you real quick that Vegas has Thunder favored by 4.5 for Game 6, and we were favored in this game. I think it was 9.5, something like that.
9.5, yeah.
won by
Yeah.
11.
Yeah, for sure. So let me ask you. Go ahead.
So I think we've never beat the spread in away games this postseason.
I remember that was the stat. I just don't remember what the spread was for game number. What was that? 4? What was the spread?
4.
We won that thing by what? 6 or 7?
I think that was our first game
I
we beat
think
it.
we probably
Actually,
beat that one. But before
yeah,
that,
you're right. Anyway,
So real quick,
Haven't we been favored in every single game
Oh,
that's all playoffs?
yeah, and we're negative 1,800 to win the series.
will the Thunder stay aggressive,
over yet.
or you think they'll play tighter with a lead in hand in Indianapolis if it gets to that?
I think
point?
they're
Oh.
gonna come out aggressive and hard, like just instant out the gate.
Big time defense.
I think you're going to see a game like the Warriors sealing the deal Game 6 in Boston a few years ago.
Okay.
I think you're going to see something similar to that of like they're going to try everything, but by the middle of the fourth, they're going to run out of gas. And it may not be Shai with the scoring because they've got a good game plan on them, but that game plan opens up like we saw Williams tonight. And so what would be like the Curry part, but
If we can get a decent sized lead in Game 6, do you think Indiana just kind of shuts down, or you think they're going to be? They seem like they're fighters to me, but
I think they fight.
here's the thing, they're fighters.
With it being the only game left.
Yeah, and they're fighters, but I'm telling you, I think it's a pretty close game up until 7 minutes in the fourth. And then after that, you're going to see us just be clinical
just please
and close
don't
it.
be a last second game, man.
Yeah,
It's
that'd be
gonna
a
be.
long
I've
time
got
waiting.
It's
to
gonna
work
be.
that night, okay, and then I don't want to put all that
It's
stuff
gonna be.
out, and then something happen and we lose. And I got to put it back and wait for Game 7.
I'm telling you, I think 7 minutes or so, it's going to be close. By the end of the game, it looks like it wasn't that tight.
Well, I hope so, because I want this thing to wrap up. I'm ready for it to be done. I don't want to go into Game 7, even though it would be cool to win at home. I couldn't care less at this point. I would rather win it all.
I just want to win.
I just want to win. Don't care how. Just want to win. If Pacers force Game 7, how will mental toughness factor? I guess, do we even need to worry about that? I don't even worry about that right now.
I think
Nah, I think just look at
I'll
game
take care of
6.
game
the players,
6.
don't worry. Don't even think about game 7. Focus on 6. But if it comes down to it, I think we'll be fine.
Well, that's what Van Pelt had. He said something. What is it? Said to
Yeah,
Dub a
Jada
little
was
while
like,
ago.
we're
He
not
said
even thinking
something.
about 7.
Yeah, he's like, it does make you feel better in a sense. I don't know if this is exact words, but knowing that you have another game that you could come back here.
Can you relax?
Like,
Yeah.
no, let's just go knock it out and be
Relax,
done.
man.
Because I think that's what a lot of people are thinking, and nobody knows anything what's going to happen. They don't. But I just know I made the comment a little while ago that I feel a lot better going to
Of
Indianapolis,
course.
being up 3-2 than being down 2-3. Way, way better.
I think
What's that?
we just close it out, honestly.
Any closing thoughts
I
from
do.
you guys? Any closing thoughts?
It's hard to predict. I mean, everything on the series has been wrong and unpredictable. But I think if Haliburton can't come back, if he's at 70, 80%, I think we win.
Yeah.
I think if he was 100%, I'd probably say we'll blow him out in game 7. Man, like you said earlier, those 2 injuries, man, he played, but man, he had no burst. He wouldn't drive in. He couldn't shoot threes. He's no confidence. So he's got 3 days, but that if 3 days of rehab means 3 days of no practice too. So I think we'll close it out in game 6 just based off of that injury.
Kellen, again, any closing thoughts?
Okay, saying 6.
I'll say, I was texting my friends about this. I was like, this is the moment that like years later we'll talk about. Of like, man, like this and this and this. I'm just gonna say, enjoy it while we're here, and even just in 3 weeks, it's gonna be done, obviously, and like you'll be moving on. So I'm just enjoying it while we're in the middle of it because I've never experienced something like this. One more.
Yeah, one more. Hopefully the next time we have the podcast, it'll be about a championship. I'm hoping. Parade, whatever we got to do. I'm excited. So, well, I will tell everyone thank you for listening. I know this was just an instant reaction from the Foxx Den podcast, Foxx Den Sports Podcast we want to do tonight. Hopefully we'll get this out. Some of us got to be up in about, 4 hours. So I've got to try to get all this, put it together and get to bed and get up. But hey, we appreciate everybody listening. Please stay safe. Be savage, not average. Remember, join the skull. I mean, some old time stuff we're bringing back. Kellen, what else we got?
Stay thirsty, my friend.
Stay thirsty, my friends. We're bringing it back tonight only, maybe. We'll see. But in next time, goodbye, everybody. Thunder up.
Boomer
Sooner.
You've been listening to the Foxx Den Sports Podcast.